Hello Cancer, it is Lisa, and here is your July 21st to 27th, 2025 general reading. This is just a general reading. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, all my contact information is in the description box below this video. Okay, Cancer, so let's see what's in store for you this week. So the overall message for you is the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is about putting your head down, working hard, gathering information, like putting things together, and that will lead you to success. Some of you might have to learn some new things or a new way of doing things. Some of you may just be kind of gathering some stuff that leads you to success. You're kind of polishing it and putting it all together, and that leads you to success. It's basically you put in the work and it will lead you to success. What you put in, you'll get back. The challenge that you have this week is communication. So the Queen of Swords is about clear communication. So that's the challenge, right? The thing with this is Mercury is in retrograde, right? So it is a great time to redo anything, right? To connect to any re's, right? Reestablish, re-energize, redo. If you're working on a project, it's a great time to pull it out and to hone everything and to put it all together. That leads you to success. But you just have to make sure you're clearly communicating what it is you want to communicate. If you're sending out texts or if you're doing social media or anything like that, just make sure the message you're sending out is clear. And then you have to make sure you're clearly communicating with the universe what it is that you want. Don't send out mixed messages to the universe. Send out exactly what you want. Envision it, send it out, and be very clear so you don't have mixed messages. Because, you know, the old be careful what you wish for. You send out a mixed message, you might get one back, right? So all about clear communication and it being a challenge. And if these two kind of go together, then it's kind of like you just got to really put your head down and really kind of make sure you're clearly communicating what it is you want to communicate. That will lead you to success. So what do you need to focus on this week? It is the Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands is about perseverance, right? So it's kind of like, okay, I'm just going to keep at it. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get to this success. But it is, this card is about like you're in a battle, you're fighting forward, you're busy, you're doing everything. And you need to kind of take a step back. You're battle worn, take a step back, take a break. This can be a mini break, it can be a vacation. It can just be stop being so hard on yourself. It could just be a simple, okay, just take a breather. Just take a deep breath in, exhale, and then just keep going, right? Because especially when you're working on something, you might get all hyped up, especially Cancers. And it's kind of like, okay, just take a step back, take a deep breath, and then go forward, right? It's kind of almost like disconnecting from it so you can move forward, right? But they are really talking about the value, and a few signs have gotten this, the value of taking a break and how it balances. Because when you take a break, you can actually get more done. Because sometimes we think, oh God, we're going to take a vacation and I'm going to come back and there's going to be tons to do and it's going to distract me from doing what I need to do. And it's kind of like, no, it actually is going to re-energize you, give you a new perspective, give you insight. Then you can really kind of hone what it is you want, right? So let's just get a little bit of clarity on this. So the Eight of Pentacles, just working hard at something, perfecting it, so then it leads to success. It's the Two of Cups is about partnering up with someone of like mind, which will help you kind of move forward. So getting their ideas, listening to what they have to say, they enhance you, you enhance them. But it really is kind of like getting insight from someone that knows you really well, that will help you move forward. And this might even lead you to the partnership as well for some of you, where you hone this and then it leads you partnering up with someone that's really of like mind and moves you away from people that are not like-minded. And then they're talking about the Empress, which is the birth of an idea, right? It's time to release this idea, to put it out into the world. It can be even your own self. If you're working hard on yourself, it's time to come forward, be that person that you've been working on, shine, and then everything starts to grow and flourish in your life. It's not just like this one little thing. It leads to so much going forward. There's like doing this work that you're working on will be more successful in all different areas of your life than you can imagine. But it is like this birth of a great idea, a birth of a new you that moves forward. So then the challenge, communication, which definitely makes sense because like I said, it's Mercury retrograde. The Tower. Dun, dun, dun. So the Tower is about an upheaval, changes. It is about shifts and things that are happening, right, in the universe. It's interesting because I think this stuff that you're communicating is really going to shift everything in your life. You're going to go from one way of being, which is what the Empress is, and it's this birth of a new thing, and it's going to shift your whole life because it's kind of like you're used to doing things a certain way. Everything shifts when you communicate. And the thing about, even though the Tower is looks scary, there's people falling out of buildings, it's on fire, it is basically a necessary change that leads you to really wonderful things, like amazing things. So this shift leads you, and communicating this leads you to this shift that changes everything in your life. And the Six of Swords is saying this is earned success. You've earned your success. You've worked hard. You've learned a lot of lessons. Part of this process is a lesson as well. But the great thing about this is you're coming out of rough water and you're moving towards really positive, calmer waters and positive things. And the success that you want is not that far off. But this shift has to happen. The communication has to happen. And just make sure you're communicating it properly. And then everything will shift and change and you'll get that success. So then the card of what you need to focus on is kind of taking a deep breath and just kind of taking a step back, having a break. So say if you're working on something, it's like have a break, right? Go on a break, have a break, whether it's this week or coming weeks, have that break and then kind of come back and do the thing. Or communicate. It might be a little bit different for each of you. You might be communicate and then have a break, but it just feels like you're working on something. The break might give you a new perspective, but we'll see what the clarity says on this. So let's see what the clarity says. So it says when you take the break, you're moving forward towards the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and it leads you to success. The break that you had, focusing on the break, might have been during the break you worked on the thing, so it could have already happened. But it is saying that you're moving towards success, and then you're able to let go of one thing, which feels like a sacrifice. Again, they sort of said this earlier, where it's kind of like you're leaving something behind to move forward towards really exciting things that are waiting for you, more things, more excitement, more fulfillment, and then you have the abundance as well. So, but it is kind of like, oh, I got to let that go in order to really move forward, right? So there is a little bit of that as well when you're moving on to things. It just feels like an exciting time. Just make sure you're clearly communicating and that you're polishing the idea really well and that you're kind of like honing it, learning what you need to learn about it, putting your head down and really doing it. And then it will lead you to a lot of fulfillment and joy and abundance. So a very interesting week, very productive in a different way, I think, for you. But this break may come in different ways for each of you. And it really is kind of like you might do all this, then need a break. But it leads you to success either way. And yeah, it probably is focusing on, okay, I'm going to work this hard, then I'm going to take a break, and then things are going to move forward. Some of you may take the break and then kind of move towards it, but definitely this week. But just watch communication and that you're clearly communicating whatever it is you want to put forward and not sending mixed messages to the universe. Okay? Very, very interesting week. Thank you so much, Cancer, for watching. I truly do appreciate it. If you could like and share my videos, that really helps. If you enjoyed my video, if you could subscribe, that would be amazing. Really helps grow my channel. Truly appreciate it. Have a fabulous week, Cancer, and I will talk to you soon.